it's Miss Goldman, and we are going to start Lesson 19 of Eureka, Module 5. Again, these are video lessons to go along with what you just missed in the live lesson that was done earlier today, or you have decided to listen to me teach this lesson again, which I know some of you will do because you're gold medalists, you're such hard workers. Remember, as always, if you cannot see all the images, just look at the PDF. If you decide you want to do it on paper because it's easier than working on a computer, that is fine. Just make sure to send me the images of your work either through Google Classroom or Class Dojo. That way you will receive credit for it. And remember, at any time, if I am moving too fast when I'm going to go over the answers or at any other time, you can either replay this or just press pause. So let's get going. All right, so let's get started with this first problem. As you can see, I did the first one for us, but what it is asking us to do is to divide the number line into the given fractional unit, then place the fractions and write each as a whole and as a fraction. So as you see, I create the lines. I also connected the line. I drew over the fractions to the lines, but it's probably easier if you actually just draw out everything and rewrite the number. If it is easier to do it this way, though, dragging it, you can do that. Now, as you look, it says write each whole as a fraction. So I had to put with the one whole, make it 2 halves. For 2, 4 halves. And for 3, 6 halves. Then I put these where they would go. So 3 halves is obviously right in here between 2 and 4. 5 is obviously over here. It's kind of hard to see because the line drags out between the 4 halves and the 6 halves. And then the 4 halves is right here at the 2. But so if you want, you could go like this to see 5 halves a little bit better. So now, what we're going to do is I'm going to let you take your time and work on B and C. Remember, you're going to have to divide that into fourths and eighths. So remember, fourths, this is our unit fraction, and eighths, and here's our unit fraction. Take your time. All right, and we are going to go over the answers. As you can see for B, we have, I rewrote the numbers, and as you can see too, I did my whole numbers in one color and my actual answers in a different color. So for B, we can see I have here 6 fourths is right here, 9 fourths is right here, and 11 fourths is right here. And for B, you can see 16th eighths is right here, 19 is over here, and 24 eighths is over here. Now, as you can see too, I did not write in red 24 eighths as well because 24 eighths is the whole number, but for right now, we can do that too. So good job. Let's continue. So over here, what we are going to do, you can use the number line and go back from what we just used, but now we are going to be comparing fractions. Now, some of these, it's going to seem very simple to do, like this first one, 6/4 is less than 9/4 because the denominator is the same and the numerators are different. Other problems, they're slightly different. What you can actually do is find a number that's the same for both of them that they have in common to make like fractions. So, for example, this one over here, 16/8 and 3/2. 2 and 8 are different numbers, and the numerators are also different numbers. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just focus on this side right now. And sometimes in fractions we have to work with both fractions. This time we're lucky we only have to do one. So what we're going to do is I'm going to say 2 times 4 equals 8. And whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. It's like origami. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. And 3 times 4 equals 12. So, obviously, 16/8 is bigger than 12/8. So 16/8 is greater than 3/2. So take your time to work on these problems. All right, we're going to go over the answers now. And so I'll just go across. So as we said, this first one actually will go down, not across, because I already did the second one for you. So we have our 6/4 is less than 9/4. 16/8 is greater than 3/2. 6/4 is less than 16/8. Back to the top with 3/2. 3/2 is less than 5/2. Again, that was easy because the denominators are the same. 9/4 is less than 19/8. 5/2 is greater than 9/4. Back to the top, 19/8 is greater than 16/8. 4/2 is equal to 16/8. And finally, 24/8 is greater than 11/4. So let's continue on to our last problem. So as you can see, I started the first part for us, and then I gave us two other problems that you're going to be using to compare to these. And actually what you're going to be doing is comparing it to the problem. So as you can see, for number 3, it says choose a greater than comparison you made in problem number 2. Use pictures, numbers, and words to explain how you made that comparison. So as you see, I just took over that image again from before and I did 6/4 is less than 9/4 because that is a greater comparison. And I just put on a number line 6/4 and 9/4. Now you get to choose a less than comparison that you just did. And you can do it the same way using pictures, numbers, and words to explain. And then finally choose an equal comparison and use pictures, numbers, and words. So it's the same thing. And this says, it does say for this one 2 ways that you can prove, but don't worry about the 2 ways. Just focus on finding at least one way right now. So I will give you time to answer those 2 parts. And remember, you may have chosen one that looks different than mine. All right, I'm going to go over the answers. If you need more time, just press pause. So as you can see, I brought the numbers over. You may have chosen other problems than what I didn't choose, and that is perfectly fine. As you can see, what I did is I tried to choose for problem number 4 a number that had the same denominator, but that wasn't going to be the case for number 5. So as you can see, I did my halves on the bottom and my eighths on top. So for my halves, you can see I drew it and I put a dot for each one. 19/8 is over here. 16/8 is over here. So obviously 19 is getting closer to 3. 19/8 is bigger than 16/8. And over here you can see there's just one dot to show the 2 of them. So I hope this lesson made sense. If you need any help, please let me know. And I will hopefully see you live tomorrow, or you will be listening to me again. Bye!